Snap horse, the position of guilty and innocent. If some ask, where lies the prison? Many would answer, a place for the sinful. Yet, O Lord, you know the truth. The prison is where guilty and innocent alike are bound. And who can discern, save you alone, which bears the guilt, the captive or the keeper? It all began in Snapmore, a quaint village tucked between jagged cliffs and sprawling meadows. It was the kind of place where time forgot to move quickly, where gossip traveled faster than the wind, and where villagers argued endlessly about which family invented the apple pie. Snapmore's peace was unshakable until the arrival of the snap horse. No one knew where it came from. Some claimed it materialized in Farmer Hodge's barn. Others swore it had been seen galloping out of a glowing storm. The truth, as always, was somewhere in between, or perhaps nowhere at all. The snap horse was unlike any creature they had encountered. Its glossy coat shimmered in the sunlight, its eyes sparkled with mischief, and its teeth, oh, its teeth! They snapped like clockwork at anything that smelled even faintly of a lie. A casual, nice weather, isn't it, on a drizzly day would earn a quick clack of its jaws. A more elaborate fib, like when old Mrs. Glint claimed her pies were made from a secret royal recipe, would elicit an almost operatic series of snaps. The village's first encounter. It was Mildred, the baker, who first experienced the snap horse's peculiar talent. Mildred was known for her bold declarations, such as claiming her bread had cured arthritis, or that she once danced with a prince who turned out to be her cousin from the next town over. On the morning of the snap horse's arrival, Mildred was bragging about inventing the croissant when the horse, standing unnoticed behind her stall, let out a thunderous snap. The crowd froze. Mildred turned redder than her cherry tarts. What was that?" she stammered. The snap horse stared at her with an intensity that felt almost human, then snapped again. Mildred, flustered, quickly admitted that her croissants were, in fact, just poorly rolled buns. The crowd erupted in laughter, and the snap horse became an instant sensation. A new kind of fear. At first, the villagers treated the snap horse like a novelty, a quirky creature to be admired from a distance. But as its snapping revealed more truths, fear began to creep in. Secrets long buried came to light. Farmer Hodge confessed he'd been watering his cider. The schoolmaster admitted he couldn't actually read Latin, and young Timothy, the town prankster, owned up to replacing his mother's shampoo with pig grease. The snap horse didn't judge, nor did it punish. It simply snapped. Yet its mere presence forced the villagers to confront their own dishonesty, and that was punishment enough. The trial of the snap horse. Inevitably, trouble arose. Gerald Grimlock, the self-proclaimed moral guardian of Snapmore, took it upon himself to declare the snap horse a menace. "This creature is an agent of chaos," he bellowed during a hastily arranged town meeting. "It undermines our authority, destroys our traditions, and," he paused dramatically, "snapped at me." The villagers, torn between fear and fascination, reluctantly agreed to hold a trial. The snap horse was brought to the town square, where Gerald stood as both prosecutor and judge. "This beast," Gerald declared, "has no respect for our way of life. It mocks our integrity and sows discord among us." The snap horse, unfazed, snapped at Gerald mid-sentence. The crowd burst into laughter, and even the stern-faced blacksmith cracked a smile. But Gerald pressed on, his voice rising in indignation. "This is no laughing matter. The snap horse must be locked away." Captivity and confessions. The villagers, unsure of what else to do, agreed to imprison the snap horse. It was led to the old jailhouse, a crumbling building that hadn't seen use in decades. As the iron door clanged shut, the snap horse let out a single, deliberate snap. At first, the villagers felt relief. Life could return to normal, or so they thought. But within days, something extraordinary happened. People began visiting the jailhouse, not out of curiosity, but out of compulsion. It was as if the snap horse's presence drew out the truth buried deep within them. Mildred was the first to confess. "I've been watering down the milk," she sobbed, clutching the iron bars. The snap horse snapped gently, almost as if to comfort her. Then came Farmer Hodge. "I've been selling last year's apples as fresh." Snap. Even Gerald Grimlock couldn't resist. Late one night, he crept to the jailhouse and whispered, "I've been pocketing donations meant for the church roof." Snap. Each confession brought a strange sense of relief, as if the villagers were shedding invisible chains. The Snap Horse had become a catalyst for change, forcing the people of Snapmore to confront their own flaws. The Great Escape. As weeks turned into months, the Snap Horse's influence only grew. The jailhouse became a place of pilgrimage, and the villagers began to wonder whether the horse was truly a prisoner, or if they were the ones trapped by their own dishonesty. One stormy night, the Snap Horse made its move. With a single resounding snap, it broke the lock on its cell and stepped into the rain-soaked streets. The villagers awoke to the sound of thunder and rushed to the square, where they found the Snap Horse standing tall, its coat glistening like polished gold. Without a word or a snap, it began to walk away, leaving Snapmore behind. The villagers watched in silence, their hearts heavy with a strange mix of sadness and gratitude. The legacy of the Snap Horse. In the years that followed, Snapmore became a different place. The villagers, inspired by the Snap Horse, embraced honesty and integrity. Mildred's pies became famous for their simplicity and authenticity. Farmer Hodge's cider won awards for its purity. Even Gerald Grimlock found redemption, dedicating his life to building a new church roof, this time with funds properly accounted for. But the Snap Horse's legacy didn't end in Snapmore. Stories began to spread of a mysterious horse appearing in other villages, snapping at lies and leaving a trail of transformed lives in its wake. A question for you. Now, dear listener, the Snap Horse's tale is not just a story, it's a challenge. If the Snap Horse were to visit you, what truths would it uncover? Would its snaps bring laughter, tears, or a mix of both? And most importantly, would you dare to face the truths it reveals? Perhaps the real prison lies not in walls or bars, but in the lies we tell ourselves. So ask yourself, when the Snap Horse comes, will you be ready to listen?